Skydance are about to take over at Paramount and they've got a big decision to make about Star Trek. And apparently, they've had conversations with Secret Hideout. And those conversations are, you've got till Christmas. Welcome to the Tech Impulse podcast, part of the Scitrek family.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.
I've actually been sitting on this news for about 2 weeks, but I didn't want to share it in any detail, even though I 100% believe what I was told a couple of weeks ago, until I sort of got a little bit of clarification and a little bit of information from another person I get to speak to. So, to be clear, the original source, about 2 weeks ago, told me that Skydance have been in conversations with Secret Hideout, and even though they were really unhappy with Section 31, really unhappy, they have agreed that there will be serious conversations running up to the end of the year regarding extending their contract next year, and they have not ruled out the possibility of giving Secret Hideout a proper extension to their current contract. But Secret Hideout have basically now got to spend the next 8 months or so putting together a few plans for how they want to push Star Trek forwards. And apparently, Skydance have given them some direction on how that would best go. Now, this original source is sort of like, hot sauce for chicken wings. He is a good source. He's a reliable source. You know what you're getting with him. But he's not for everybody. And he does come at these things with a, let's say, agenda. He doesn't like what Kurtzman has done with Star Trek, and he's not afraid to say so. So I always take what he tells me with a little bit of pinch of salt, because even though he works in a position to know the stuff he's telling me, truth has perspectives, and he comes at these things with a perspective, so I have to be a little bit careful with him. But I got in touch with my, let's call him tomato ketchup source from Paramount as well, who is more reliable. He isn't going to excite anybody with his, brand flavours, but he's reliable. He's always there. He goes with everything, and he's just consistent. So I really wanted him to be able to sort of verify what's going on. Now, he has said that yes, Secret Hideout has had conversations with Skydance. Some of those conversations have not been cordial. There has been some home truths told by the bosses over at Skydance about how they feel about Star Trek and where they see Star Trek going. There has also been serious conversations about the fact that they may not get an extension to the contract. Now, I should reiterate at this point, Skydance are not in charge at Paramount yet. It's still going through the regulator. It still looks like it's going to be a couple of months. It's getting closer. It's getting a lot closer now. There was one of their court problems was sorted out, kind of, over the last few days. Basically, some of the shareholders feel that when Cherie Redstone sold Paramount to Skydance, she did it for her own benefit and not so much theirs. And she made a fortune as the owner, but some people that hold the B shares, the shares that don't have voting powers, didn't do as well out of it as some of the other options that Cherie Redstone had. Now, this is America we're talking about. I don't think those court cases are going to get very far. I think at most, Secret Hideout and Skydance, why are those two names so similar? It makes my life a lot harder. Skydance might have to end up paying some sort of compensation or something like that. It's not going to block the transfer of ownership. But Skydance is already working over at Paramount. They have a couple of offices over at Paramount and they're working out of there. They are doing a lot of the preliminary work and getting to know the business. They're looking at the books. They're basically doing all their planning for when they do take over. There's a lot of things I hear they want to do with Paramount, but I'll talk about that in another video. It's stuff I've mentioned before about trimming some of the fat off Paramount to make it a more profitable company. But as far as it goes with Star Trek and Secret Hideout want to know what Skydance's opinion is, and there have been those informal conversations. So, the nutshell is, Skydance are going to give Secret Hideout a chance. Now, whether you think they deserve a chance or not, that seems to be what's coming out of Paramount at the moment, and what the insiders that we speak to are telling us. That chance basically is going to be that Secret Hideout have to come up with a pitch for 2 or 3 new TV shows that will, one, replace Strange New Worlds, because again, I'm being told 5 seasons is going to be what we're going to get. Those 5 seasons should be completed within the current contract. They've already started production on season 4. So by the summer of next year, they should be able to get production for season 2 of Academy done, and season 5 of Strange New Worlds. That will then be it for Strange New Worlds. Skydance are going to want Secret Hideout to pitch them at least 3 shows, I'm told, or for them to pick up 3 new shows. They basically want 4 things running from the Star Trek franchise. That may include this sitcom idea that we already know about, but also other shows that do seem to be in development. Now, this sort of runs with what we've already been told, because there was a story a little while ago about Jerry Ryan, and she was pitched a Star Trek show, but she declined it because it wasn't legacy. Now, that obviously shows that Secret Hideout are trying to develop different TV shows, but they then want those actors on board before they can sort of go into any serious development. One of the things with the sitcom idea is that they have a rough idea who some of the cast are, because at least one of them is writing it. So they've got an idea that that show can move forward. Something like Legacy, though, it only works if some of the actors are on board. You can't develop a show and go, yeah, this is a great idea, we love it. Jerry Ryan doesn't want to do it. You need Jerry Ryan on board for a show like that. The sitcom, they can develop it, do it, and they can just hire a whole new cast. There's no legacy characters there that you'd have to have on board, sort of thing. So they can develop that. So they are looking at other projects. They are trying to figure out a way to do legacy without Terry Matalas. I'm going to come back to that in a minute as well. The other thing is, though, we're hearing about them pitching ideas to James T. Kirk, our William Shatner. I'm being told that is a show that we don't know about, that's potentially in development. And this is, again, running towards this plan they've got by the end of the year to be able to pitch to Skydance and run with something. And their thinking is, look, if we get William Shatner on board, even as a cameo, that will help in the pitch meeting. That will give us some weight behind the pitch meeting. So, that's where we're at the moment. Terry Matalas and Legacy. I'm being told Skydance are very keen to move ahead with Legacy, and that this was always Secret Hideout's plan to do so, but it was the plan to do it with Terry Matalas. He's now gone to Disney, and he's got 2 or 3 big projects with them. He's not coming back to Paramount anytime soon to do a big multi-series like like Legacy. So, or at least not anytime soon. So I've told you before as well that there were ideas by Secret Hideout how to do it without him. One of them was basically to push Jonathan Frakes to the front, that he would direct all the episodes and he would become sort of a showrunner alongside somebody else. That is one way you could keep fans happy, to a degree. So, they're very keen for that. Secret Hideout have to think of a way to make that work and have to pitch it to Skydance. I actually think without a good plan for Legacy, without actors on board, I actually think Secret Hideout are really going to struggle to convince Skydance to extend this contract. And they've got till Christmas. So, what do you think? Get into the comments. I'm going to do a couple of videos following this, and I'm going to do basically, should Skydance give Secret Hideout a new contract, or shouldn't they? I'll do 2 videos. I'll argue one way and I'll argue the other way. And I'll try to be as open and honest as I can be, while being fair. Let's see how well that goes when I'm trying to argue that they should get a contract, but I'm going to do my best. But I'd love you guys to get into the comments now and tell me what you think. Being honest, not everything Secret Hideout and Kurtzman has done with Star Trek has been awful, but some of it has. So which side of that fence do you fall? Give them a contract, run a million miles away from giving them a contract. It's up to you. Get into the comments and tell me what you would do. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out, and you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can go to patreon.com/scitrek, where a lot of our videos and other content do appear first. So, go check that out. You can also become a member of this channel, so you get to all the videos a good, day sometimes before everyone else. Please, go do that. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.